I decode your answers, love, career, and more. We've got the guidance you seek. Tap into shamanic roots, uncover your inner energy, chase your dreams, learn from the wisdom of tribal mystics, bridging the gap to your potential. Supercharge your experience with us. Book now at tanyad.tv for self-discovery, and I will see you on the other side. Ashe. Inshallah and Ashe. Just checking out my live stream situation. Hang on one second. It's always like that. Oh, there I am. Maybe not. I don't know. It's always curious. Oh, why is it telling me to log in? That's fantastic. Do you ever like click on something that you shouldn't have and then you get into a situation? Pretty much. And there I am. Okay, great. Wow, it's amazing. So with that, it's a little after 3, and as always, holla, my energetic beings and beautiful souls. As divine wills, blessings to you, and Ashe, more blessings coming our way on this fantastic Friday. And I just want to say there's only attraction. Like, what are we attracting? What is our attraction? Kind of glimmering our gold, or what are we attracting, right? I went through this early this morning as if you don't know me, I sleep outside. I was kind of fantasizing about a yurt, having my own yurt, but you know, a yurt with a button that opened up to the celestial sky. But I was going back into like, what am I attracting? What's the feeling? What am I receiving? I was doing this all morning long with the moon and of course, my cats, Tiger and Lily, along with the goddess of the night, traveling through her home sign right now in the season of Cancer. During the season of the mind, the solar plexus, our mind truly is a tool, right? And at the moment, mid-season Gemini, as we're like coasting into the weekend, the mind is really opening up and possibly traveling a road less traveled, something new, different opportunities, just being mind blown, mind awakening. I don't know. I'm just sensing all these fantastic things. Either way, if you don't know me and if you're new to my show, my page, my channel, my name, of course, is Tanya D. I am a practicing holistic shaman medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon and a reflector in human design. I truly am a seer into the unseen. I get subtle nudges or messages coming in, streaming. I do set boundaries, though. I tell the other world when I'm on duty and when I'm off duty. I do go by the term holistic Sha medium, which is just a choreography of them all. That kind of was a download from the world of spirit. And I recently did a not so short video for an upcoming summit. I'll keep you posted on that with some other cowrie shell diviners on how I actually became a cowrie shell diviner. Most of my magic, my medicine, my gift, why I arrived on the planet, it comes through spirit. It really is a spirit to spirit or an otherworldly conversation. And if you were able to read, I don't know if you tuned into it, I was a guest. I did an article for Mystic Mag, but I was blessed by death. That's what I call it. Blessed by death. I went through an initiation at the age of 7. A blood transfusion, full body blood transfusion. I was in a coma. I was in the other world. I was in a plane of existence above the archangels. The reason I know that is just different experiences I had. That's a whole nother novel, basically. And then some, of course. So I kind of, muse about blood. Blood, I see blood as its own organ system, its own organic organ system, within a system, part of a system. So as a person who is a seer into the unseen, I generally future things. I kind of get subtle nudges. Lately, I feel, I'm not even kidding, like the Oracle in the Matrix, like how she knew Neo was coming before Neo arrived, kind of a situation. But Malidoma Somé, he actually came into my peripheral vision, my subtle field, in or around, I'll say 2012-ish. Always in my field, all the fields, the auric fields, like in my peripheral. It was like he was not leaving my, my visions always come in through my left eye, which is funny because then I think about the left eye girl, the left eye. I don't know the band. Anyway, I won't go down that corridor. But I knew that he literally was the one. Spirit sent me to Malidoma. Just as Spirit shows me when and where to show up and just going with the flow on the day to day. Even I find out like into the future sometimes. The furthest I've ever looked into a future is like 6 months, I'll say. But the subtle nudges, it's kind of like a grimoire. Do you receive them? You know, we all get subtle messages, and how they come in for each of us is unique and individual. No one's right, no one's wrong. It's just how they work for us. But subtle messages, even light language. And I love that the light language is actually happening, I believe, from the sun. I'm not sure. I did see that somewhere. But either way, you know, who literally reads light language, light codes? Who speaks it or even writes it? You know, people have this within them. I'm going to say in the minerals of their bones. I really love it. I remember when I returned from my coma, it took a long time, I won't lie. I had to relearn how to walk and all the things, but I came back changing people's names into light language codes, plus other magical experiences. But back to cowrie shell divination. So that's an art. It's a way of divining divination brought to the West by Elder Malidoma So May. And if you know me, once I start the process, I am literally committed to the end, which it really never ended when he transitioned. It's just now I communicate differently, subtly, with different greetings, I guess. But cowrie shell divination, it's an amazing art. I do these in person at Crohn's Hollow if you happen to be in Utah, or through Zoom if you happen to be or on a different playing field in the globe, which is great, right? We can all virtually do divinations or whatever. But as a diviner, I really love doing divinations for a variety of reasons. It really is like accenting and bringing people home to the place where they came from, or like, why did you arrive at this time? What is your purpose? What is your gift? And life flows by. We get into the flow when we are living our gift and living our purpose. Not that we don't have energetic hiccups, I get that, but time does flow by when we're like in the medium of the energies. And as a side note, just so you know, like, how are we feeling after this moon, after the magical opening of spirit, a spirit to spirit conversation? So this new moon is, I'm not even kidding you, it's the beginning of a 12-year transformational cycle for a variety of reasons, I will say. The Earth is in the season of Sagittarius. The ruler of Sagittarius is in Gemini. So we've got this duality. If you can go back 12 years ago, like, what were you thinking or doing? Where was your mind 12 years ago? What were you learning? What were you understanding? What was your inner knowing? I think I started actually doing videos back then in 2012 about energy healing, mostly through the skin, because that was kind of my foundation then. But also more, now that I say that, it's like, what is the script that you are invoking? I would also say Venus. Venus is in this Kazemi, accenting a divine love story, how we love in our day-to-day reality. The elephant parade, it kind of reminds me of Dumbo. Be sure to listen to the moon meditation, the new moon for Gemini. And if you don't know, or you are new, I do follow the moon mostly through the heavenly universe, the gates, as the moon is also reflective, and I am a reflector. I don't like being rushed into decisions. I literally will sit back and wait 30 days and see if it's still on the tip of my tongue, if it's something that I'm excited about, or it's just kind of wavering in the waters or plummeting to the depths, whatever it feels like. But the universe maps out all of this for us organically. It's just, is like, are we listening? So that was kind of a lot, kind of in a way. Let me move my phone. So who is ready for a mini divination? Remember, all you need to do is comment in the show notes. I do need your year of birth. I don't actually need it, but I prefer it just so I can go into the Dagara cosmology. And also, if you don't mind sharing the month you're born, not necessarily the day. Numerology does play into this a little bit, but since these are mini, I don't really dive into that all the way as well. And yes, I'm playing with my cards. I do bring in the elements, the earth, the heavenly universe, along with the galaxy, the planets. I just kind of start channeling mid move, I guess is kind of how I see that. So it's different for all of us. So as a disclaimer, though, if I do see something that I don't feel is appropriate for all the world to hear, all the world to see, I will just recommend that you schedule a private session, a one-on-one with, again, the code believe 33. I do have that. I'm not sure for how long, but for just different opportunities. Why? Well, energetically, we're all unique and we do not fit in the same peg. That's what makes the world so magical, really. We all radiate and we all shine our own star brilliantly, like whatever that is. That's my favorite thing, too, is when people are embodying their own magic, their own medicine, their own starlight. It totally is. It's just time to shine and bring out our own glimmer and our own glamour and whatever that is individually for all of us. Just so you know, this is actually the first time that I have ever actually done a Believe 33 for my sessions. It was kind of a random message once I got to a golden number, meaning a spirit number, a spirit to spirit number. Spirit sends like the initiative for that. So that's where the Believe 33 will possibly end after I hit like the cosmic golden, the golden egg of the universe. I just feel as if there is some kind of deep waters. And the reason I do ritual is I kind of go back to the persecution of witches. My great ancestor on my mother's side was actually one of the witches at the Salem witch trials that was hung. The adversity there that happened for her. I think things happen for us, not always to us, to change and get us moving differently. The ancestor, not particularly mine, but there was a lady that actually wrote a story about what happened at the witch trial and that it was wrong. It happened to be her grandfather that was the one that was doing the accusations and was hanging my grandmother and other friends. So when she wrote this article, it actually healed her entire lineage along with mine and all the other women that were hung there. Is kind of what I want to say. I am commenting. Okay. So that's kind of how healing our ancestral lineage works. One way to do or heal a wrongdoing is through people who come after us. It was kind of a lot to go into a circle there, but people generally fear what we don't know and what we don't understand. I like to stay curious. I like to question everything. I like to go on a quest and just stay in the questioning. What does this feel like on a fantastic Friday, right? I do have a grimoire of rituals, a ritual grimoire. Of course, you know that. When I prescribe rituals, a variety of different ones, I literally write them down. I generally put the person's name. So when they do return, I can kind of see how the medicine worked, if you will. The otherworldly medicine cabinet. So it's kind of like recipes for me. So when the querent does return, it's like, do I need to adjust these ingredients or just stick to the same ones? How did it go? So I always like to have the integration time. So yeah, not to toot my own horn, but I am just pretty magical when it comes to that. So again, anybody ready for a divination? Let me change. Let's see, opportunities, right? Here we go. There's my shells. And there I go. I'm going to get rid of that little gizmo. Okay, so remember, you do need to comment if you want me to roll the shells on your behalf. As we head into the weekend, the moon again is in her home sign of Cancer. So for Gemini, this is actually accentuating your second house of what you feel and how you feel valued, self-worth. That's a feeling for Gemini, is feeling valuable. It's a feeling. So if you're not feeling valuable, I would literally go to the moon and see where your moon is accenting in your natal chart. The moon does, it's a gravitational pull, right? Full moons, new moons, we all know this. So yeah, if you're interested in a mini divination, go ahead and comment there, and I'll move the shells on your behalf. Of course, I mostly work with the Fae. These are actually my divination deck. This is all based on the Dagara cosmology, which I love. I'm probably going to make my own little deck for different reasons, but I do love these. Great job. But yeah, opportunities, right? Opportunity. Oh, look at that. Got my podcast mic in the mix. See? Have you been to my website? These are the cards that are on there. That's too funny. I love it. Okay, so the moon. Nobody's diving deep. Nobody wants a little mini read. I can see you're there, but I can't see you commenting. Let's go like that. Maybe it's my computer. Who knows, right? Glimmer your gold. Okay. It doesn't really show me, but I want to see. However, just remember to comment. This is our Friday Live. I do this every Friday, so if there's something happening for you, again, like I will say, I'm getting so amazing at my moon meditations. The Gemini new moon meditation, it's not so much a meditation, it's a initiation to really invoke and use words, like to carry into the future, and like scripting your own story of what it is you want to bring into this world. What going into your imagination, the imaginal field, and writing your story of what it feels, whatever that is. Like, where do you want to live? What do you want to see? Like, where do you want to travel? I really feel like it's setting the stage for a 12-year song, basically. That's kind of how I see that, for sure. So yeah, the shells are saying we need to go to nature. Yeah, to nature. Maybe. I love the light language, though, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so anybody want a little mini read? Release with Maya. Oh, the pain, the Lockhart. Seeking direction. Were you on my show last week? Beautiful. I thought you were. You just need a little guidance for the weekend, or guidance for the moon scripting. So if I was doing moon scripting, I would literally gaze into a mirror and like just imagine where you want your life to be. Like, where do you see yourself, your future self? Yeah. So if you haven't, I'm not even kidding, not to toot my own horn, but I would say my last two moon meditations were amazing, like so amazing. I would totally listen to that and like really get into the feeling. And actually, if you can kind of go back and listen to it for 42 days, it kind of takes energetically, time in our world literally takes longer than the spirit world. I know this from my own experience there. I'm sure other people might have a different opinion. I just remember when I was in the other world, I'm in my coma, I'm with these otherworldly beings. They're androgynous, they were amazing. And every year, I don't tell everyone this, but every year I literally go back into that place, usually between the 15th and the 18th of December. I'm very much not in this world. I'm totally in the other, even though I appear here. And then it takes like 30 days plus before I return. It's like I go back to get a different memo or something. So my whole point there is it's a different timeline in the other world. It felt like I was there. Oh my gosh. I mean, it just fluctuates, sometimes an hour, not even a day. And then I've been gone for more than that. in this world, but literally, I would say take some time, give yourself the space to really script your story with Creator, holding the pen. So it's almost like you got to bring that energy into your body and allow yourself. Automatic writing is kind, or telepathy, even. I'm going with automatic writing, whatever your world looks like. So, this is like a 12-year stint. I'm not even kidding. That's why it's so powerful. Plus, Venus is in the mix. So it's like, what does your heart love? And be mindful of your thoughts. Like, what are the thoughts percolating? Are they all loving? Because what we're going to start attracting this. We all attract anyway, but thoughts become things in our day-to-day world. So it's like time to think differently, believe energetically, right? Brain creator, and embody that. I associate Gemini with our solar plexus as well. So that's kind of a will center, our self-confidence boosting energies. And Jupiter I associate with chakra. You can't see my arm, but it's the soul's harmonic. That's where sigils and sounds and signs come in, numbers, astrology, all of that comes in through the soul's harmonic. So energetically, kind of fascinating. So with that, be sure to tune into my moon meditation. I'm just saying I did label it like where it starts, so you can just listen to that instead of the intro. But yeah, I'll move the shells on your behalf. If there's a certain question that's there, I see you wrote direction though, right? Just seeking direction. So I'm going to ask the Great Spirit, the oneness, to accentuate your own internal spiritual guidance system and send you a subtle message. This message is going to come in. I know they said it's a minimum of 3. I feel like it may take you another nudge after to like pop the memo so you get the message actually. So yeah, this is the singer of initiation. So it's going through the initiation of change and transformation. And a lot of times we have to let go and surrender to what no longer is working. And at the time, it's very uncomfortable because it's not familiar and we kind of get stuck in our own way. So it's time to transform. Like literally, it reminds me of like you're going through a change in how you identify with who you are and what you're bringing to the world. That's just coming in on my own guidance system as I'm asking the question. But yeah, this is an initiation, and this is you, the 9, taking the action to initiate the transformation, which then brings me back to Saturn, something that I'm going to say your divine spiritual acumen can actually assist you with once you open up to hearing those subtle messages. And when the messages come through, it might be telepathic. I'm saying that because we're in the season of Gemini, but also it could be emotional. It could be something physical arrives in the earth plane. It might be a relationship, like you get the glimmer of that or something. Something's transforming though. That's just what I'm divinely ordained and downloading as we're chit-chatting. So yeah, remember, if you want me to move the shells on your behalf, I do need your birth year, something that you're curious about, or it's on the tip of your tongue, you want to invoke it, you want to say it, which I will say, invocation is a huge part of Gemini season, using words. It's Mercury. Mercury is the god that can travel anywhere and anywhen of all the gods. That's the energy of Mercury as well. And the solar plexus, I will say, as far as elements go, it's metal and wood energetically. You can actually subtle energy of metal and wood. If you're needing some innovation for your self-esteem or your self-confidence, you can actually add the element of wood. I'm kind of seeing like birthing of ferns, I love ferns. Of course I do. I feed the fae. But I'm just saying like the birth of something new, a new plant, a sprig or something. Wood. It can also be old wise wood, transformation wood that you could build a fire with, but also metal, transition metals, golds, coppers, nickels. Metal brings different characteristics depending on which metal you bring in as well. The subtle energies. So there's that. And yeah, the wealth is the wild. So go ahead and comment, like I said, if you want me to move the shells on your behalf and ask a question. If you're nervous, remember you can schedule a one-on-one with Believe 33. I believe that's in my show notes today as well. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going for a hike or into some water. I'm just kind of looking at my cards. I'll put those down because I'll start channeling here soon. Either way, for sure, comment. I can see there. But I can also just do the shells for the weekend. You guys are so funny. You're either all in or all out. So with that, I'm just going to ask the Great Spirit to give me the guidance I need and the messages everyone needs to receive to make it a fantastic, magical weekend. And if you're in Utah, I will be at Crohn's Hollow tomorrow for most of the day. Oh, Nellis. Where's Chandler when I need him? This is actually my guardian angel, Nellis. This is about intuitively feeling and sensing before acting, before using the magic wand. That's how I see Nellis. She's a necromancer. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to just move the shells on behalf of everyone tuning in now or even tuning into the replay. In divine timing. And with that, I say Ashe. I'm going to call in my ancestors, my guardians, my gatekeepers, that I may be a conduit to deliver the message everyone needs to receive today. Okay, so we definitely need to get into the flow of the change that's upon us. I feel like we need to, I don't know if any of you have an animal totem or a physical animal, like a cat, a dog, a bird, it doesn't really matter. Some kind of I'm a wedame, a friend, a familiar, a fierce protector of the wild. This is himself. He is like a light being that radiates. Obviously, his heart chakra is lit up, so that's a relational energy. His third eye, which is vision, comes in color, along with a crown. Look at that fairy crown. That's like spirit energy. Himself is kind of like, not really a shaman, but similar. The shaman in the Fae is actually the sage. But this is, oh my God, you won't believe this. So in astrology, we are in a 17-degree Gemini day. And look at the 17 on this card. That is hilarious. You cannot make this shift up. So that really is like listening to our intuition before we commit or decide to anything. But our heart needs to totally divinely resonate with that. That's hilarious. You cannot make this up. That almost made me choke on myself. Too funny. Okay, back to the shells. That is awesome. This tells me we're going through a huge transformation in our connection to possibly what we believe about our connection to spirits, subtle elements even, all the spirits of the other world, the unseen. So I do rituals, and a few of my friends have been here when I feed the Fae, and they literally saw the Fae. So it might be something like that literally you all of a sudden see another worldly being and you are forever transformed. You'll never be the same, I'll guarantee it. But that is not even, I'm not even kidding. So just be aware there might be a blessing from a being that, I mean, I'm thinking even of Sasquatch or anything that we've been conditioned to believe doesn't exist. Could be an alien from the galaxy, Lemuria, I don't know, Atlantis, a Palladian, something that that's going to transform us. But they do see us. They're loving. this change we're going through. We're going to get on our own pathway. We do need a otherworldly soul's harmonic perspective so we can channel in the wisdom of the ancients, is kind of what that's saying. So we can be our own starlight, bring that world in here. You know, everyone always needs to work on boundaries. Boundaries, whether it's energetic or physical, is always a thing. For me, a boundary is, you know, shutting off my internal guidance system and like, no, I only work between these 2 hours, unless, of course, the universe is really nudging me because somebody needs my assistance. That does happen. It's a different, very different nudge. I will say that. But yeah, we're getting organized. This is like literally letting go of our own spiritual story in order to transform into a new story and communicating our authenticity. Getting clear about, are we being authentic? Are we being inauthentic? Who am I? Who am I being in order to become something different? And literally washing, this is all like, I'm going to go ancestral here. We're going through like a celestial wishing tree wash for our healing our ancestral lineage of the forces of adversity that possibly, no offense, but most of our ancestors were assholes, and a lot of us are the family janitors that have come here to clean up the show. That's what I'll say to that. That's a definite. In order to clean up the show, we do need to go to some moving water. I don't know where you're listening from or tuning in from, but water carries the healing energies. I saw an amazing TikTok about water. I should probably share that because the guy was spot on. You know, our bodies are made of water. The moon moves water, the oceans, the streams. I saw another cool thing. I don't know who, but they invented this coolest tool to put into the desert, and it actually, I don't know how it works, off heat, actually, energy of heat. It spins and brings water. It was so cool. I should share that as well. So obviously, we need to go to water to help us get into the flow and help us change and, you know, wash away things that are not in divine alignment. This also tells me there's a, this is very, I wouldn't, with these earthquakes, I wouldn't be surprised if an alien, an otherworldly being that we've heard about but been shut down about, came through possibly out of the water. I don't know. That just kind of is what that feels like. And in doing so, it's like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. I saw that. I felt that. And now you know you're not a nutcase, but it's almost like a wake-up call to get organized around seeing the world through some healing waters that are literally coming from the Great Spirit into this plane. So yeah, as far as a ritual, I would definitely, take the weekend, sit by water, get in the water, leave an offering to the water spirits, the subtle and the physical water spirits. I always think of Don Knotts and that talking fish. That was a while ago, but I did love that show. So yeah, that's kind of what that is. So I hope that was helpful for those of you that did tune in. Oopsie. So yeah, healing waters, definitely. This is almost like literally using different words on how we speak to ourselves too, which aligns with the moon, how we communicate to ourselves. So yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to get into too much of that, but yeah, this is feeling like some kind of telepathic, otherworldly kind of conversation. So just knowing that you're not crazy. Yeah. Climb into your woo, your persecution. So remember, if you want me to do a mini divination, you need to comment and also add your birth year and month for fun. I believe the months are actually kind of an accent to the year. And then the day, kind of, I can dive in deeper there, but I do those mostly in my private sessions. So anywho, that was it for our run. But yeah, we got to go to water, find our own inner peace, communicate, get into the calmness, attracting that. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, well, that's that. If nobody wants to chime in. So yeah, I'll see you next week. I do have Spill the Tea coming up. If you've subscribed to my email list, you'll get the link to that, a total different show, a presentation, just connecting to your divine energy, your spiritual self. And yeah, make it fantastic as always. And I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for tuning in. Actually, you know what? I just realized, hang on one second. Don't hold your status here. Hang on, I got to move some things. I always like to share. Where did it go? Here, let me get rid of me. There it is. This is actually, I always like to do a mystic message, and this is really us receiving messages from Source, Creator, Divine, whatever you want to call it. Jesus the Christ. The shells, I mean, this is something that is not of this world, an otherworldly transmission. So there is that. So now, now I am finished. And yeah, make it fantastic. Join me for Spill the Tea. I think it's on the 17th. It's a Friday afternoon. If not, I do record them. And I'll see you on the other side. Blessings.